Hey, my name is Steve Moreland. I want to give you just the insights that I took several decades to learn, and I learned them the hard way. And I teach a master class every Saturday because I want the world to be better. It's called Better Each Day. And I want to give you the gist of it, or basically the training manual that I use that I put together studying psychology, sociology, philosophy, and even military history. What I was looking for is how do the greats achieve greatness? And I came up with a Latin phrase that the Roman legion used to use, and I'm going to try to pronounce it. It's omnat curiam victoriam, and it means that victory loves preparation. I created a system called P5. P5 is prior, preparation, planning, and practice produces performance. That's actually P6. But prior preparation, planning, and practice delivers performance. Okay. If you don't like your performance today, how do you fix it? You work backwards, and you work backwards into looking at your preparation, looking at your planning, looking at what you practice, and making sure that you understand that all of this has to be done prior to your engagement or prior to the performance that you expect. The beautiful thing about this formula is that if you don't like your performance, you can change it. You can fix it. So let me give you some application that works really well. This is what I teach inside of the system is you have to begin with the end in mind. I disagree with Jim Rohn as much as I love him and I've been to all of his training and read all of his books, is I don't believe you can have too many goals. That was his motto. I believe you should have a singular goal. And that singular goal in a pyramid fashion should have an ultimate end. So you should begin with the end in mind. How do you want your life once the creator says you've had enough time? What is it that you want your life to have meant? You could see one of my favorite books back here is Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. And his concept was the concept of logotherapy, logos coming from the Greek, which means meaning. So meaningfulness or a life full of meaning is what we want to focus at the ultimate apex of the pyramid of your life. And that apex is actually what's referred to as the gravestone experience. So how do you want your life to be remembered? What do you want the trophy that is your gravestone to actually say in 10 words or less? Well, in my book that I wrote, it's called not Man's Search for Meaning, actually back there, Beyond Success. In the book that I wrote, I actually have two gravestones, and this is what I put together that empowers me. Is when I went through my darkest years of my life, and I had to figure out how do I keep moving after everything was devastated, after everything was lost, after everything that I'd wanted to work right came out wrong, and those people that I thought were the most trustworthy turned out to be the most untrustworthy. When dealing with all that, how do you keep getting up and how do you move forward and how do you become better and not quit and acquiesce and settle for mediocrity like too many often do? And the answer is I had two gravestones. And on one gravestone, this is what my children would write. Here lies an average man like everyone else. The other gravestone, my children would write one word, and that one word is worthy. So I use the first gravestone, here lies an average man like everyone else, as the absolute worst thing that could happen to me. This is the disrespect or the irreverence of my children. And what I stand for is they would see me as an average person, and my life was meaningless. The other one was my life was full of meaning, and that full of meaning was graded by them as worthy. So I have, if you know neurolinguistic programming, the away from is a life of averageness and mediocrity. And what my towards is, what I focus on every single day, every single month, year, decade, is worthiness. How do I get that trophy at the end of my life? That's the apex. And the apex of becoming worthy comes backwards to who am I going to become in 10 years from now? So my singular goal is a concept that Aristotle taught Alexander when he was young, and that is be as you wish to seem. If you're going to be as you wish to seem, that's going to give you the focus of who you are becoming, not what you're doing, who you are becoming. And if you focus on becoming your better version in 10 years from now, then all the activities leading up to that will give you the correct things to do and those things not to do because they're not in alignment with where your life wants to go to be meaningful. In my case, it's being worthy. Thanks for your time.